while the temperatures drop here in Tucson, Arizona, the race for the playoffs is getting red hot in the desert. FC Tucson will look to make the most of their return home in search of a postseason position as they take on Orlando City B in USL League One action. Both sides warming up tonight. There is Carlos Marancio. He collided with Lucas Coutinho of the South Georgia Tormenta in a horrible incident that saw Lucas Coutinho end up in the hospital. But we'll have good news for you later on about that as we see the FC Tucson warm-up tops with the Love for Lucas hashtag on the back. A lovely message as the soccer community surrounds him. But for FC Tucson, they'll be focused on now increasing that home scoring punch they've had all season. Third in home goals scored and conceded. They'll be looking to score more tonight against an Orlando City B side that they've had good luck against. This match has seen FC Tucson win 2 of the 3 matches they've faced Orlando City B in, the other being a draw, but they've outscored Orlando 7-4. Orlando City B possessing more in just 2 percentages in that 51% possession to the 49 of FC Tucson. But possession won't matter, it's goals that they need, and Kobe Osewusu is their most likely threat. He's had 2 against Tucson in the season series so far, and tonight he'll be looking to do just that and maybe get a shock win for Orlando City B. Orlando surely have a point to prove tonight, but FC Tucson want to reach the summit at the end of this 2019 League One season. We'll have starting lineups for you and all of the action coming up right after this. A lovely sunset sets in the sky of Tucson, Arizona, here at Keno North Stadium. It's a welcome return for FC Tucson. The last 6 matches for them have all been away, and they'll be happy to be back at home against a side in Orlando City B that they think they can beat and put themselves in a fantastic position for the playoffs. Here's the lineup tonight for FC Tucson. In goal, we mentioned Marancio being dropped to the bench, and Philip Ejimadu, the former LEFC player, making his way in. Lamar Batista, Kyle Venter, Corey Whelan, a new addition to FC Tucson from Liverpool of the Premier League, and Luke Hosworth make the lineup for the back 4. As we move on to Orlando City B, they'll be facing on their back 4 as well. Brandon John, Leonardo Simas, Matias Silva and Randy Mendoza will be looking to keep away FC Tucson's attacking threat. William Bagru, Kobe Osewusu, as we mentioned early on, and Tracer Mbuyu will be looking to cause a threat and put FC Tucson to bed tonight. Both sides getting prepared here. Not long now to go, but there are some players missing. We'll have a look at that injury report tonight from Banner University Medicine. Keenan Weeks and Raheem Summersall are missing for FC Tucson. But for Orlando City, they have 3 important players out at the moment. Thiago de Souza, Rafael Santos and Serginho, all missing for the Lions. Tracer Mbuyu was a player that wasn't predicted to start tonight, but he has replaced Luke Granitor in the starting lineup for FC Tucson. There is Jamba for FC Tucson, a fantastic player. He has been for them all season, scoring important goals. And he'll be looking to do much of the same tonight. As the crowds gather in here at Keno North Stadium. It's going to almost feel like an away game for FC Tucson tonight. They've been away for the last 6, as we mentioned before. That's 7 weeks on the season. They have been away, but they are back home. But it is Orlando City B who get us underway in what should be an explosive matchup for both teams. It's for pride for Orlando now. A playoff spot looking more and more unlikely. They sit bottom of the league, US League One table at the moment. But we have seen crazier things happen in football before. It is the business end of the season for FC Tucson, who want to make a playoff spot in this inaugural USL 1 season. Karen Callado is our center official tonight, as Orlando City have a throw in early on here in the first couple of minutes. Tucson perhaps not going to have the lion's share of possession as a shot comes in. It's had to be watched behind the goal there. Ejimadu watched it go past him. Juve there with a long-range effort early on, and the warning signs going off for FC Tucson with just over a minute gone. But Orlando really do have a point to prove here. Their players have let their team down this season, but they want to provide positive results. They have the talent in their squad. It's a matter of getting that chemistry going. As Orlando come forward again. Ontivero. Still with Ontivero! Good save. Ejimadu had to get down. And Orlando providing the opening threat here, as that will go out of play for a Tucson throw-in. It's a slow start for the home side, and it looks like it's actually going to be a throw-in for Orlando City B. As we have another look as Ontivero on the turn, and Ejimadu got down to save it, but we're hearing that he is on the floor at the moment. And that is not a good sign for FC Tucson. Carlos Marancio nursing an injury he had in a collision that we mentioned earlier with Lucas Coutinho of South Georgia Tormenta, but now it's Ejimadu who hits the deck and is just having had a look at here. We're going to see here another look at that. Fantastic play from Monteverde there, but it's a shot straight at Ejimadu, and it looks like it actually hit him right in the face there. The goalkeeper making an inadvertent save, but an important one nonetheless. He looks quite responsive at the moment, but all the precautions being taken here to make sure he's in full working condition before they have to make a decision on who to bring in. You see Ejimadu just having a word with the trainer as he's back on his feet now. A man with Major League Soccer experience on loan at the moment from Los Angeles Football Club. A team who are themselves red hot in their league as well. FC Tucson perhaps trying to mirror a similar performance here in these last few weeks of the season. Tucson's still struggling to clear out of their own half. They have a chance on the break here. And it's offside. Their first chance going forward through Guillermo Delgado. But the flag is raised. Orlando certainly looking to control the limelight of possession. Juve. And again to Juve again. High press from Jordan Jones. The USL League One Player of the Week from last week was Jordan Jones. And then cut out well by Lamar Batista for FC Tucson.
I was there, my cameras would have panned out.
Now it's Orlando's turn to try and get the high press in as Tucson knock it around, but Orlando with two good chances in the opening couple of minutes. This time it's cleared away by Brandon John for Orlando. And that will roll just out of the reach of Luke Horsworth. Randy Mendoza just assessing his options now as he takes his throw in. The header was won by Corey Whelan, a new arrival from Liverpool of the English Premier League. It's his first start for the club. He was swapped straight into that centre-back role. So whistle goes. Should be a throw-in for Tucson. The referee wants that perhaps taken as a free kick rather. And then we're back underway again. Tucson looking to respond to the early threats of Orlando. Whelan. Horsworth on the gallop. A good cross and perhaps a handball there, yes, against Devin Jamba. Surely wasn't intentional as it cannoned off his arm, but it will be a free kick for Orlando City B. Here is Martins Silva, one of many Brazilians on this Orlando City B side. This team flirty in every sense of the word. Macias Silva now, Austin Amer. Come back to Amer now, looking to dictate play and finding Juve, but Juve gives it away. Delgado. Bergen. This is Corey Whelan. Had to be cleared away there by Brandon John. It's a fantastic ball in there. It'll be a corner, the first of the night for FC Tucson. As Eric Bergen strides across the University of New Mexico product. Numbers just around the edge of the area, but so far no one in the centre. It looks like the Tucson tall men will charge forward here. And out comes the goalkeeper, Giuliano Chade. Charge with a forceful punch out, and Orlando can look to reset. Juve. He's looked lively so far in his opening couple of minutes for Orlando. Osewusu, the man who's scored 2 against Tucson so far this season. Mendoza. Juve. Will he have another crack here? But it's just over the bar and wide as well. Yeah, goal kick for Tucson as Juve tried his luck. Have another look at that, just didn't quite get the connection on that. Perhaps leaning back a bit as well. Sliced through the ball and it's not the most beautiful of strikes. Orlando really putting a stamp on in these early openings. And now, perhaps that may not have even been a foul there on Whelan. It looked like he got caught, but it will be a free kick for Tucson. Perhaps Bagru had too much on Whelan in terms of physical contact and for that to not be deemed a foul, but Whelan really nearly got himself in a bit of trouble there. Here is Corley Whelan. Time it was cut out. And now Orlando can try and create another opening as Brandon John has to turn back to his goalkeeper. We would like to thank First Watch, the daytime cafe, for providing our ball kits for tonight's match. Those ball kids, as you see there, doing a fantastic job of making sure the run of play stays fast and pacey as well. As Lamar Batista will try and do his bit with a long and deep throw in. Headed away by John, who got tallest, and now Horsworth knocks it back for Ejimaju, who's looked fine since he returned after being hit in the face by that strike. We'll see how he continues on in this match tonight. Knocked away by Horsworth with a fine tackle. Rather, that was Kyle Ventnor, former Penn FC player, who has USL Championship experience that he's bringing to this Tucson side, and a bit of leadership as well, the captain. Tucson looking to break away again. This is a threatening attack. And Devin Jamba's been brought to the ground. Free kick for Tucson. Used his pace effectively. De Silva trying to catch up, has just knocked Jamba over, didn't get a bit of the ball. And now Tucson have a chance again in a similar position to try and get ahead on this. Whelan's up there, as is Kyle Venter. Batista also lurking there, looks like he's being held. Oh, and Whelan flicks it on, but nowhere near the goal. Sort of flashed over his head as it came in from Eric Vergen. Have another look here. Vergen, a lovely delivery, but Whelan couldn't apply the finishing touch. That surely was a foul. Referee does blow a whistle. Batista a bit too strong in the challenge. Tucson not looking to give the ball back very quickly here, as they want to falter any Orlando City attack. Silva. And the flick on from Mendoza was too strong. Well cut out there by John. He's looked impressive in his opening quarter of an hour. Lovely cut there from Ontivero. Lucas Ontivero surely with the most clear-cut chance so far in this match. A long way to go, but quite impressive work from him. Now Orlando coming forward again. Osewusu. Now Ontivero. Oh, and an important touch there from Batista. But Ontivero's won it back for Orlando. Oh, and a foul there.
That little Walter guy's pretty good.
Coming away was Bagru. He was upended, and now a free kick opportunity for Ontivero, who looks favourite to take this. As he lines up the match ball provided by Select. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the other finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Ontivero will be looking to strike. He hits the middle of the wall. Ontivero again. And then cleared away. That's a poor taking of the chance there from Ontivero. Would have expected better of him to at least get it over the wall, but hit it straight into the legs of the defenders. And perhaps that's not what Orlando need at the moment, is wasting opportunities. They need goals, and there's a lapse in defense there for Tucson. Both sides perhaps a bit nervous, but Orlando really plying on the pressure, and it's telling of the Tucson defense. There are the supporters of FC Tucson. Affectionately named the Cactus Bricks. There you see Tucson's record at home. Only one loss this season. 3 draws, 3 more perhaps than they wanted, but 3 wins. Looks quite impressive. We'll have another look at Ontivero's free kick here. Just didn't get the height he needed on that, and then the second hit was blocked as well. The wall doing really well to get out after the initial block as well. As Ejimadu will just take his time to launch this free kick forward for FC Tucson. Cleared away by John. And then Bergen looked to run through, but the flag was up. It's the second time so far FC Tucson have been caught offside, and Orlando, their away record is quite abysmal. 8 losses and 1 draw. No victory so far, but that can all change in one match, and perhaps tonight may be the night that they catch FC Tucson cold-footed. Ontivero launching that forward. Straight into the reach of Ejimadu. Whelan. Tucson struggling to find a way out of their own half at the moment. knock it round in there. There's another loose pass. So Orlando will try to make the most of the mistakes that Tucson have made, as otherwise they may not create too many other chances. Silva. Has to go back to his goalkeeper again, and now the captain, Matthew Silva. Looks to spread the attack. Flag is up. Offside that time against Orlando. Another former LAFC player, Lamar Batista, just letting his former LAFC teammate Ejimadu take the free kick from here. Tucson are desperate to get out of their own half and keep possession in Orlando City's area. And that's an obvious push there on John. Not quite sure what Devin Jamba was thinking there, but it is a foul. Don't necessarily need a replay for this one, but there he goes. Two-handed shove in the back, and you can expect nothing less of a free kick there. Juve. That's a foul as well. The Tucson fans getting quite upset with the referee's whistle, but she's well entitled to call those fouls every day of the week. Again, we see there an obvious trip. Vergen all over the back of Juve there. Batista. Jamba. Over for Whelan. Interesting to see how Corey Whelan fits into this side, his new team, his new surrounding as well. The heat of the Arizona desert, much different to the brain of Merseyside. Juve knocks it forward for Ontivero. Da Silva. Look to played the 1-2 there with and Ontivero. Ajimadu had to save it again. Cleared away by Batista. Orlando with another good strike on goal. It's Ontivero again, dipping in front of Ejimadu, who maybe read the flight of the ball there late and elected to punch. An unconventional save, but again Orlando trying to create openings here. Juve. Ejimadu this time smothers it. The alarms are going off for FC Tucson. Orlando now putting on the pressure. They're getting ever closer to finding the opener of this one. Jamba for Tucson. Delgado trying to connect with Horsworth there. Now here is Luke Horsworth. Oh, and that's run out of play. Fans, follow FC Tucson and the rest of the USL League One all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, Major League Soccer, UFC, the US Open Cup and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Batista Batista again for Tucson. He's had more than likely the most touches tonight for this Tucson side. Jamba. Jones was knocked over. It's a foul. And a free kick for FC Tucson. This time Brandon John, the offender. Whelan. Delgado. Batista again. Loves to get forward. Venter. It's a good turn from Jamba. Bergen will just keep it in play. Jamba again, now Bergen. Orlando forcing Tucson back again. Just over 25 minutes gone here in this first half of action. Batista now with some room to work. Trying to cut it back, but that is a foul and a free kick right on the edge of the area. Leo Seamas will feel like he's been hard done by. Knocking over Batista after the ball had gone away from him, a heavy touch, but it's up to the referee to make the decision there, and she has decided to give a free kick. And perhaps it was a foul, a soft one, but Tucson will have to make the most of this one now. Bergen standing over this one, Mbuyu and Ontivero. We'll line up in the wall here. Bergen's deliveries have been delicious so far, and he went through the crowd, and then a strike comes in and it's deflected over. Corner for FC Tucson. What a hit from Howell. Struck it on the full volley. Bergen's cross-in came up and then whacked from Howell. Deflected behind. Looked like it came over Ose Wusu, who possibly knew nothing about that. Bergen's delivery again towards Jones. And then punched over and behind. The goalkeeper had Whelan to deal with as well as the ball. There'll be another corner for FC Tucson. Right foot of Eric Bergen, the weapon of choice for Tucson, and a free header there for Batista, and he couldn't knock it towards goal. Goes all the way out for a throw-in for Orlando City. He's looked lively tonight, Batista, for the home side. Mbuyu. Oh, lovely turn and nutmeg from Mbuyu, and he's fouled. Truly got the better of Luke Horsworth there. Referee having a lot to deal with tonight from both sides. No cards issued so far as of yet. Don't be surprised if the bookings come flying out at a flash later on in this match, as both sides have had fouls, but nothing dangerous and malicious. Jamba. Batista. Tucson look to reset now through Whelan. Howell. Plays the 1-2 with Delgado. And leaves the ball just behind him. Horsworth. Perhaps a chance coming now for FC Tucson as they try to build something up in the final third. Howell. Batista. This is a different approach from what we saw in the first 25 minutes from Tucson. They tried to hit Orlando on the break and invite Orlando forward. It did them no favors, and now Tucson perhaps playing more like the home side would, trying to dominate possession. See some scores from around the grounds earlier this week in League One action. Wednesday night, Tormenta with a 1-1 draw against Chattanooga Red Wolves. And Lansing, the team who are top of the Pops at the moment, defeating North Texas and climbing over them with a 4-1 victory. As now Jordan Jones is alleged to have fouled Matias Silva. Will be a free kick for Orlando again. Jones perhaps a bit too eager. Silva takes the tumble. If you're looking for the latest USL League One news and content, follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Juliana Charge will happily boot this forward as Tucson have been building up a head of steam after some early opportunities from Orlando. They'll have another opportunity here. And perhaps that will be a throw-in for FC Tucson. Horsworth. Aminu trying to find Jürgen there, but couldn't do so. And the flag stays down as Jones plucks it out of the air. Howell. Now Fergan. Jamba's cross towards Howell. A good defensive interception from Brandon John. An important one for Orlando, but Batista hits the deck after colliding with his own player there. Good signs though from Tucson as they try and mount some attacks now. Howell. Batista. Couldn't find Jones or Fergan there on his return. By Batista. That's De Silva, Simas, and now Charge will launch it forward for Orlando. And Buyu's on the end of this one. Osewusu. He has a chance, it's deflected. Stay in play just as Delgado keeps it in and then launches it forward. One back by Orlando well. Juve. Tivero. And then again, Ejimanu has to push it past the post. On Tivero, the obvious threat for Orlando in this first half. Another good strike. It took a bit of a swerve in front of Ejimadu and the bounce as well. It'll be a corner for Orlando City. Severo to take, then headed away by Whelan. But again, Tucson just can't seem to get out at the moment. Juve. Home support trying to rile their team forward now. Orlando City be calm in possession. Ontivero. Mendoza. Osewusu now for Juve again. Emer. De Silva. Now Ontivero. Always getting a touch on the ball is Ontivero. Juve. Oh, and a late challenge perhaps, but the referee lets play go on. And now Tucson have a chance. Jamba. Jones is in the middle. It'll fall for Delgado! On the counter-attack, Tucson hit the front. And for all of Orlando City B's good work, it's come to nothing, and Tucson have the lead. A wonderfully worked breakaway from FC Tucson. So we'll have another look at this. What pace from Jamba. It took a deflection off the back of Matias Silva as he tried to backheel it away, but he put it right into the path of Delgado. Right plate, right time, fantastic finish. And you can see what it means to him as well. And to all these Tucson players, push through the adversity of this first half. They've been against it for the first 37 minutes. But Guillermo Delgado has the goal that opens up the scoring in this one. And if you're an Orlando City B player now, you have to be disappointed and frustrated. One lapse in defence and Tucson have truly burned them. And now the onus on FC Tucson to try and put some space between them and Orlando City B as it's launched forward again. Juve. Roberto Sibaha will be left questioning what his side did wrong there in those first 36 minutes. They played quite well, and to be down a goal now just before half-time has to be disappointing. Orlando will still try and respond, but not going to get anywhere like that. Throw in for Tucson. Vergen. Tucson have only lost one time when they've opened the scoring. 5 wins for them, 4 draws as well. And Orlando, well, they haven't won when they've conceded. They've never came from behind. Orlando's inability to come back from adversity, whether that be from behind or away from home, may be the main fault to how their season's gone and how it may end as well, as now they find themselves under the cosh here, 1-0 down, away from home in the dry heat of the Arizona desert. Not an easy place to come against a side like FC Tucson. What Orlando do have is talent. If they can find the right numbers here tonight, they might be able to snatch something, but it's all up to Tucson, really. And that's a poor mistake again that we've seen numbers of times in this first half from the home side. Ejimadu not happy with his defenders' decision-making. And now a corner gifted to Orlando City B. Orlando City B's most dangerous player of this match, Ontivero now with the corner. Headed away by Batista. Then halfway cleared by Horsworth there. And it's Tucson's ball now. Perhaps Orlando City B quite wasteful with their opportunities from set pieces, as we've seen the free kick from Ontivero hit the wall twice. And the corners haven't yielded much dividends either. Silva. Charge in charge now with a long clearance. Juf was able to control quite well. John. John. Silva, one of those many Brazilians on this side. That ball from him is much too long from Buyu to reach. Bergen now. Trying to find the run of Ricardo again. Jose Wusu now coming back to help his side out in possession. Not used to seeing him that far back for Orlando City. He has found 2 goals against Tucson this the USL League One season so far, but tonight he's been quite quiet. That's a fantastic ball it turns out to be for Jamba, but a lovely block there from Brandon John, sliding to perfection to intervene. Chaje has got caught loose here. Here's Jordan Jones. Round the goalkeeper. Jones, is he brought over there? He's knocked it in anyways. It's a calamity at the back for Orlando City B. And it's 2-0 for FC Tucson. Jones puts a heart out to the crowd. Tucson have found themselves 2 goals to the good. Both goals perhaps unexpected, but this perhaps the more unexpected of the 2. Jones' just persistence kept him there, and he found the back of the net. What a missed touch there from Chaje. Too calm. Perhaps a handball there against Jordan Jones. But he kept going regardless. He played to the whistle. Perhaps a penalty could have been called there against Brandon John. But the benefit of the doubt was given, and Jones has got his 6th of the season. And FC Tucson will go into the second half with at least a 2-goal cushion, barring some miracle from Orlando City. They really need the half-time break. That goal, Jordan Jones is the leading goal scorer for FC Tucson, overtaking Devin Jamba by 1. Orlando again looking to respond. De Silva, wonderful intervention from Batista there. Ontivero now. Trying to cut inside, and then there's a foul. Looks like it's Andrew Wheeler Aminu who's been brought over there. It'll be a free kick for FC Tucson with just under 20 seconds remaining in this first half, plus stoppage time. And Tucson still are waiting to see what the added time will be, and it will be an additional 2 minutes at the end of this first half. Wheeler Armenia's brought over again there with the Orlando City player. Looks like Mbuyu, who committed the foul, is the one who ends up the worser of the two players. Back underway through Whelan for Tucson. Can they add a third Tucson here at the end of this first half? Jamba taking on De Silva and winning a corner. De Silva beats the ball on the ground in frustration. Was convinced that it would be a goal kick, but Bergen's trying to cross again. And for all of Orlando's hard work in this first half, Tucson have hit them cold. Bergen's ball in and Charge punches away. And again, Wheeler Armeniu going over. No foul given that time, and his long ball across doesn't find the runner Batista. Mendoza. And there's space to run for Osewusu. Juve. Perhaps maybe one more last attack for Orlando City B. But surely this is the last of the action of this first half, as the whistle does go. And at the half-time break, FC Tucson have hold a 2-0 lead against Orlando City B. Well, we didn't expect it to go the way it did, but Guillermo Delgado has 3 goals now against Orlando City B. He found the opener in this one. And then Jordan Jones finished off the half with the second for Tucson. A true disaster for Orlando City B. But coming up after this, we'll have halftime coverage for you here on ESPN+. To Keno North Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, as FC Tucson are hosting Orlando City B. Last week we took a look at our League One announcers' favorite moments of the season, but now we'll take a look at the fantastic finishes from the past 100 matches.
Down near side, brought down, what's the call? And a penalty called in the final seconds. Right post, a goal for North Texas.
Of the pitch, ball sent towards the 18, punched out, goal is open. McGrew is down, another player is down.
Vignal serving it up, the chance, stopped in the end, second go at it, trickles in for Dennis. Have a brace, sir. He puts the home side up 3-2. A great save by Silver. Alphas go home with something to celebrate. Maduro in there, headed on and away, still in there. Zayed in! He gets it! And then Zayed off the bench in course of the season. It's 1-0 Red Wolves at home.
Texas SC 6-0 when scoring first. Demis on a hat trick, and he finishes it. A 27-minute hat trick for Ronaldo Demis. Gets it down the line. Endo's cross put in, alive in the box, and it finds the corner. The slow roller.
Here comes an opportunity for Lansing. Minzigen still with it. Finds Bruce. Bruce back to Minzigen, the shot! And a goal for Lansing Ignite FC. Moving his jersey. Trade that though. There's a cross. Cleveland, it's loose! And just like that, forward Madison levels at 2. J.C. Banks with a stunner. Up to the middle though. Here's Minzigen. Minzigen hesitates, shoots. Bruce the shot. He finds the back of the net. Unbelievable. Here in Cooley Law School Stadium, Alex Bruce.
Here at the bottom for a reason. They leak goals all over the place.
Walker, the strike trickles in there. It's a goal out of nowhere. The players expecting that foul to be called, but instead the dribbler gets past Herrera. 1-0 to the Triumph. First. Back here. Stopped by Hurst. Through the traffic. Knocks it on. Soto there. Back. The shot. And in! Josue Soto off the bench and putting Chattanooga up 2-1 here in Statesboro.
It'll be Jordan Perusa striking it and burying it. What a goal from Perusa. His 9th of the season. TFC2 has life. 2-1 in the 53rd minute. Serving it in, headed and in. Flag is down. TFC2 has their equalizer in the 87th minute.
Some fantastic moments indeed this season and fantastic finishes. And here's a fantastic stat for you. 8 wins by a team conceding the first goal. FC Tucson has been one of them. But before we see more fantastic moments at the end of the season, we'll see a fantastic match in the USL Championship, as the champions Louisville will be hosting Indy 11 on ESPN3 next Friday night.
Obi charging on, curling the cross. That's excellent from Harvino. Quickly to Watson. Watson gonna take a shot. Oh my! That is sensational from the Irishman. Plays it across and finds the left of the net.
Welcome into episode 13 of Steal Some Time. We are going to start over in the East and chat a little bit about North Carolina hosting the Pittsburgh Riverhounds this week. And I think that we can easily say that nobody saw a 5-0 outcome, at least in North Carolina's favor, coming out of week 24. But let me tell you, North Carolina stuck it to the Riverhounds, shut down that unbeaten streak that they had going. And really, I mean, they dominated play, outshot Pittsburgh 13-5, 8 shots on target as well, which is fantastic. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, didn't have a single shot on target, and I think that's obviously a major difference maker. North Carolina looked good, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, the same week Austin Deleuze announces his retirement, he then goes and dedicates a 5-0 win over Pittsburgh to the Oak City supporters.
So cool.
Definitely didn't play out how I thought it would.
Right.
And I think that I speak for the vast majority of fans around the championship who just kind of looked at that and said, what the heck's going on with Pittsburgh?
Elsewhere ahead in week 25, I don't know how much longer we can talk about Phoenix, but they're giving us no other choice. They're back for another dollar beer night, and this time they're hosting Sacramento. And I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say that this story's different. As good as Phoenix's backline has been, I think this is the biggest chance all season that Phoenix is going to have a run for their money on dollar beer night, going for 15 straight wins.
Are you calling I won't make you go out.
No, I'll call that. Yeah, I think this
you
is
think
it.
they're gonna lose
I
or
do.
draw?
I think.
I was just gonna let you say that the win streak is snapped.
I think the win.
The
win streak
She's
is
visually
snapped.
hedging right now.
Yeah,
I
I see
am.
the bullets, the little beads of sweat just starting to she can feel the heat here. She feels the pressure. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I think the L comes.
Well, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Fantastic news coming out of South Georgia Tormenta FC, as Lucas Coutinho has been released from the hospital and will start the rehabilitation protest at home in Statesboro, Georgia. The hashtag Love for Lucas going around social media, as we'll go around the league news and notes. Lansing Ignite are top of the pops as they overtook North Texas, while Forward Madison with a narrow 1-0 victory over the Richmond Kickers, putting them in a pole position in the playoffs. As we mentioned earlier, Lucas Coutinho is now out of the hospital, and here are the scoreboard reports for you. South Georgia drawing 1-1 with Chattanooga. We mentioned Lansing going top as they defeated North Texas 4-1. Pato getting 2 of the goals in that game. 2 penalties as well, the first time in League One action that 2 penalties have been awarded. Toronto and Greenville couldn't find a scoring touch on Friday, but Forward Madison did in late on in that match as they defeat the Richmond Kickers 1-0 to go into that 3rd position as we see here in the standings. South Georgia just behind them with a game in hand. Chattanooga need a win as well, but FC Tucson sitting in 7th, 2 games behind Forward Madison and 4 behind Lansing, so they have some ground to make up, but they will need wins. Here's the schedule for next week. North Texas will take on South Georgia on Tuesday night, 5 p.m. Forward Madison taking on the Triumph at 5 as well on Wednesday. Then on Friday, it's Tucson against Chattanooga at 7:30 p.m. And then Saturday, 5 p.m. kickoff for South Georgia and the Richmond Kickers. And for you League One fans, you can see every single one of those games uninterrupted as none of them overlap. We've got highlights and stats coming up for you right after this break. You're watching USL League One action on ESPN+. We see there a shot of the traveling support for Orlando City B, the furthest destination for them in League One here in Tucson, Arizona. We'll have a look at the highlights from the first half, as now their side are down 2-0 to FC Tucson. But it was all Orlando City B in the opening moments of this match. Ontivero with the first shot on target, and a great turn and strike. And actually hit the face of Ejimaju, and we see Juf with a strike here. Nowhere near the target, but Ontivero continued to threaten. And then Ejimadu had to be there again with an unorthodox save, but then it came the way of FC Tucson. Howell with a vicious strike. That's deflected behind. Ontivero, another strike from him. 3 shots on target. All had to be parried away by Ejimadu. But here's the opener. It missed Jordan Jones, but Delgado was there to finish. A swift counter-attack from FC Tucson. That put them 1-0 up, and in the driver's seat, Jordan Jones pouncing on a calamitous mistake from the Orlando City goalkeeper and puts it in with some ease after being brought down nearly twice, once by the goalkeeper, and then Brandon John brings him down there, but he got back up swiftly and turned it in. And Tucson have been good for their money. 10 shots from Tucson, 5 from Orlando. Orlando with a much better shot on target percentage, but Tucson seeming to dominate possession, 55% to 45. Offside calls also being called more against Tucson as they tried to push forward. 4 yellow cards issued to Orlando City B and 1 for FC Tucson. And now we will return to the action, as there will be 2 changes, 1 for each side. Yes. It looks like Luke Graniteur is awaiting the touchline for Orlando City B. So Tucson players try to rally themselves together and protect this 2-0 lead, such a precious lead in this playoff race for them. As we see, Luke Graniteur has come on the pitch. Not sure to see who he's replaced so far, but should know this in just a second here. So Tucson will get us underway here for this second half. Looking to protect that lead. Tresor Mbuyu is the man who departed for Orlando City B. As now we are back underway here in this second half of USL League One action. And immediately Tucson keeping possession through Devin Jamba. Batista had many touches in that first half, and Jamba will look to chase and use his pace again. Cleared away by John, and then Jamba just slipped up on the pitch there, but manages to get back on his feet. Here he is again up against Da Silva, who wins the battle. And then Jamba just nonchalantly deflects it behind for a throw-in for Orlando City B. You really have the feeling now that Tucson have themselves in the driver's seat, that they're going to push back Orlando City here in this second half and perhaps try and keep them where they are. Maybe grab a 3rd goal and really put this game to bed. This will be a welcome result for FC Tucson if they can hold on to this lead and find all 3 points. Only 1 win in the last 5 matches for them. 3 frustrating draws and a loss as well at Forward Madison. Their win was away at Greenville Triumph. Those last 6 matches all having been away, a tough stretch for them, but they'll take the draws, but they'll take another goal as well, as Howell tried to turn in a fantastic tackle to save the day for Orlando City V. Whelan will send it back to Eddie Maju, but another chance coming there for Tucson. Orlando City V on the ropes. It's a foul from Ontivero, unnecessary as well, but perhaps his momentum brought the player over. But we'll have a look at that save again from Giuliano Charge, but rather it's the tackle from Matthias Silva to prevent the chance, as Howell was brought down there fairly by the defender, but could well have been a chance for a third goal for Tucson, and then it could really turn into a rout had it gone that way. But at the moment it's just a 2-goal lead for Tucson. This is Kyle Venter. He's looking for the run of Lamar Batista again. Leonardo da Silva throwing it long, and then Batista cut it out. Whelan has to chase to keep this in play. Does well to find Ejimadu. Back over for Corey Whelan, the newest addition to this FC Tucson side. Orlando creating 4 chances on target, but Tucson with 100% clinical. Their 2 shots were their 2 goals. But other than that, they haven't really created much, apart from that volley from Howell that was deflected. We weren't really sure if that had been arriving on target had it not been deflected away, but an even share of possession for both sides. Not much to split between them besides the 2 goals. Oh, that's a lovely ball forward. And Orlando have numbers, but Delgado knocks it behind for a corner. Mendoza's cross was blocked that time. But Austin Amer with the lovely through ball to find him. And Ontivero strides across again to take this corner for Orlando City B. Oh, and it's a short routine, and Matthias Silva was unmarked. A poor connection, he wanted it on the head, but he didn't do very well with what he was provided with. See there, the captain not able to get a clean connection. He missed it as it hit the bounce. You'd have to really say that's a chance as well for Orlando City B, and perhaps maybe they wanted somebody else to be the runner there rather than their captain at centre back. Yeah, away goes Osei Wusu. Juve. Da Silva. Oh, cut out by Batista. Howell couldn't get on the end of the clearance. Juve. Ontivero. Now Silva. And then back across for Brandon John, who hoofs it forward. Interesting header from Batista, but a calm one there from Whelan. Ejimadu is able to grasp that one with ease. Aminu Finding Venter, and then a two-footed challenge perhaps there from John. Darren Zawodzki there, the man in charge of this FC Tucson side. Been along the touchline all night long. That is a dangerous challenge there from John. It's not the worst foul in the world, but the technique used to tackle there was the reason the referee blew the whistle, surely. And Tucson will get rolling again. Howell. Oh, and he tried to find Delgado. And Orlando will counter with Ontivero. And he's been brought down, and I wouldn't be surprised to find a yellow card issued here. As the referee does issue her yellow card. We'll look to see who that was issued to there. We saw two fouls there on Ontivero, and I believe it has gone to Howell for FC Tucson. Yeah, there you see just a simple shove, unnecessary. And there's the booking there. Ramon Howell, the first of the players in this match tonight to receive a booking. Batista clears away. That fouls for De Silva, but the flag is up. A free kick for FC Tucson. Venter takes quickly, and now Devin Jamba. He's looked dangerous and a threat all night. Oh, and Jones just missed it. What a ball across from Jamba. Working magic on the wing. And Jones was a whisker wide away from reaching that ball. Well, Devin Jamba, a threat every night for FC Tucson this season. Jones couldn't quite connect to that cross. Whelan. Venter. Now Batista. Looking long again for Jamba. He'll get there, and Jones was in the middle. Silva cleared it away. There'll be a corner for FC Tucson. They're getting closer to the third. Jamba with another delicious delivery. And Jones was there again, but Silva got there before him. Eric Bergen now will try to find the head of one of his defenders. Oh, it's clipped towards Batista, but John was fouled as he tried to head it away. Now, see the cactus bricks of the FC Tucson supporters group have been keeping it on all night. A lot happier now that their side are 2-0 up, but flag has been raised here by the linesman, and we're not sure what quite happened there, but it looks as if they just wanted the free kick moved to the correct position. And away we go again. Duke, Silva. And then that ball was too long for De Silva to reach. Swung wide, but headed backwards well there by Randy Mendoza for Orlando City B. Silva clips it forward now onto Vero, onto the end of it. And again he was barged over, but perhaps that was a battle of strength against Kyle Venter. Now on to Vero's turn to put in a cynical foul, and the referee will have a word. And it's going to be a yellow card for Ontivero now, much to the delight of the home support tonight. Ontivero, the second player tonight to go into the book. He will join Ramon Howell. Clear and obvious there, and no attempt to win the ball. Can't really complain, but he'll put that down to frustration. He has been quite lively tonight, and easily Orlando City B's most likely threat is. This is lovely football from FC Tucson. Jamba trying to deliver the cross there, but the build-up play was slick. Just what Tucson want to create tonight as they try to build on this 2-goal lead they have. Batista. Jones heads it on. Silva has to clear.
Oh!
And then a silly foul to give away there against Osewusu. Kyle Venter just held him up there, but Orlando will try to spring another attack through Amer.
Number 12 looks like Calvin.
Ontivero is clipped again, and
Yeah.
there'll be just a free kick from the referee. We'll have another look at that deep throw in there from Batista. Jones headed it on, and then Silva just nearly flicked it to himself and cleared it there. An unorthodox way to get rid of the danger, but it worked the trick only just for Orlando City B. Now it's a throw-in for Tucson. We can hear the thunder rolling in here in Tucson, Arizona. Perhaps the lonesome drums of the supporters group here in Tucson, as the crowd aren't happy with the challenge there, as the referee let play go on. Batista. Oh, great turn from Batista to find Howell. Wheeler Aminu finds Jamba. Such a tricky customer is Devin Jamba. Bergen. Howell trying to be a bit intricate there for FC Tucson. And Ontivero is clipped over again. Bergen will be lucky to not go into the book here. She calls him across and sends him away for the moment, but Ontivero stays on the ground, but she does reach for the pocket, and now Eric Bergen is in the book for FC Tucson. Have another look here. Does absolutely nothing to win the ball there, and can't complain about that booking. Simply knocks Ontivero over, who's taken quite a beating tonight from these FC Tucson players. Low center of gravity and ability to turn. And they're just kicking him about, letting him know that they're there. Juve. Oh, Matias Silva. And Mbuyu. Still a chance here for Orlando City B. De Silva. Oh, and a forced ball there from the substitute. Luke Granateur leads to a goal kick for FC Tucson that Philip Ejimadu will not be in any rush to take. It's 61 minutes into this match, and FC Tucson still holding on to that 2-goal advantage. 2 goals from the first half. The first of those goals coming from Guillermo Delgado. And a swift counter-attacking move. And then Jordan Jones's sheer persistence allowed Tucson to get themselves in a 2-goal position. Wheeler Aminu now has been upended. There'll be a free kick for FC Tucson as another change awaits, and looks as though Corey Whelan is stepping off. Kept a clean sheet on his debut for the 63 minutes he was on the pitch, and now DeVos will come in to replace him in that centre-back role. Scott DeVos, a player of Hartford Athletic before arriving here in the desert of Tucson, Arizona, has the USL Championship experience. He'll slot right into that position Whelan was holding up. Howell. Batista left it and it rolled out of play. You see Scott DeVos coming in for Corey Whelan. Tucson's second change of the night. Orlando making the one at the halftime interval. To be a free kick for Orlando City B to be taken by De Silva. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest levels across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Orlando City B, very much an embodiment of that. Any players on this side will hope one day to make the first team in Major League Soccer, and if not, develop their career somewhere else. But you love to see the local youth. A couple of Floridians in the lineup for Orlando City B. Austin Amer, who was in the picture just a moment ago, one of them from Tampa, Florida. So you see Amer there heading on for Orlando City B. Here's Devin Jamba. Howell, lovely little touches there and cuts it back. Oh, and in the middle was Vergen, and his height did him no favours there. Brandon John put it behind for a corner. Oh, it felt ominous for Tucson as the ball back in towards Vergen. Cody Wakaso made the cross back across towards him. As we see Roberto Sibaja, the head coach of Orlando City B. He's not pleased with his side's performance, even though they've created chances. They haven't been clinical with them. Buviu now on Tivero. We just saw Roberto Sibaja, the manager for Orlando City B, who's only been in charge since the middle of July. Surely he will see out the end of this season for Orlando City B, and a disappointing one it has been so far, but perhaps if he can string together a couple of positive results, he might be able to throw his name into the hat for next season, should he pursue that. And at the moment, he is the interim head coach for the side from Florida. John. Granateur couldn't prevent the heavy touch. Charge. Silva. Flips it forward for De Silva. Granitor. Aimer. Orlando City still being patient in their build-up. Oh, and that's a pass that was nearly cut out by Howell. Cleared away by Cody Wakasa. A Phoenix Rising product in every sense of the word. He's found his way into his FC Tucson side in this second half. Well, Batista has some work to do, and there was good pressing from the Orlando City front three. Silva. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Straight into the path of Wakasa, who finds Jordan Jones. And Devin Jamber's up there as well. Jones had no room to turn, but Bergen! What a strike! Jordan Jones with the cutback. He celebrates. But it was all Bergen with a calm, collected finish. Finds the bottom corner and finds Tucson in a 3-0 lead now. 69 minutes on the clock. And these remaining 12 or so should be more difficult for Orlando City B, nearly impossible. But Bergen was there for Jordan Jones to cut it back on a plate, and he calmly slotted it in. Oh, Jordan Jones has the golden touch of the moment for Tucson. And these fans are very happy to see their side back in their area. And in these coming weeks, Tucson will look to add on to results like this if they can hold on to it tonight. They've shown no signs of fatigue from this road stretch. For Orlando City B, it looks like it's going to be another disappointing night on the road. Howell. There's still time for it to get worse for Orlando City B as Howell comes forward again. Orlando will make another change. That goal perhaps forcing Subaha into that. Steven Hernandez will be the man to come on for Orlando City B. Still a wait to see who will change for Orlando City B. Bergen will just take up as much space as he would like. Tucson are on their way to equaling their biggest home win of the season. That was a 4-0 victory over Chattanooga. They will look to find another fourth goal here. Wakasa cut out by Juve, will roll back for Chaje Kindly. The last time Tucson found 3 goals, it was in the 3-1 victory over Toronto FC2, another Major League Soccer B-side. Some absolute crackers in that game as well. As we've seen tonight, Perhaps the Jordan Jones goal, the second one of tonight. Not quite in that category of crackers, but they won't care one bit. For all of Orlando City's possession, Tucson have been dominant. De Silva. They have 18 minutes to find a way back into this one. We've seen crazier things happen this season in USL League One, as Orlando City B will make that change. Steven Hernandez makes his way onto the pitch. We believe it's Kobe Osewusu who's come off. He hasn't really provided that spark that we expected him to. Oh, and Hernandez with an immediate touch, but his shot's deflected and straight into the path of Ejimadu. But it was Granatur rather who made the chance there. Orlando's first substitution of tonight at half-time. Just cut inside there on Venter, but Tucson had a player back there to block the effort. Scott DeVos getting into the way of the strike there from Granatur. Onto Vero now. Granatur again up against Batista. His initial cross was blocked and lets it roll out for a corner. Much to the disagreement of the Tucson players there. Granatur takes it quickly. De Silva. It's a good cross and Ventnor got in the way. And then Granatur with a poor attempt to find his teammate Ontivero. Silva. Slide across, but De Silva couldn't reach the crossfield pass. Fans, you can follow FC Tucson and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN Plus, home of the USL, Major League Soccer, UFC, the US Open Cup and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Delighted to be bringing you such a thrilling contest on ESPN Plus tonight here. Silva. Brandon John, who, apart from the 3 goals, has really stamped his mark in that defence for Orlando City B. Was that a handball there against Wakasa? Would have been interesting to see the referee's perspective on that, because had she seen it, a penalty has to be in consideration there. Aimer. Juve. Oh, Granatur's found De Silva! And that's a goal for Orlando City B. They've got one back. A quarter of an hour remaining in this one. And the away side have a way back. They've thrown themselves a rope into the water. What a lovely finish there from De Silva. The late run, but the build-up before it was fantastic as well. Lovely through ball. De Silva made no mistake. And is this the start of Orlando's charge up the Arizona hills? Well, they know that it isn't a result yet for them, but perhaps a bit more hope in their minds at this point. Mendoza. Juve. This is welcome encouragement for Cibaja's men. Ontivero. Juve. Aimer. Oh, and that pass is just too heavy. And that just won't do for Orlando City B. Perhaps FC Tucson just got cold-footed there themselves. A bit too lax, a bit too lackadaisical. It's still a 2-goal cushion for the home side, but now Orlando City have something to chase onto. Batista. Howell. Wheeler Arminu. Here you see Leonardo da Silva Simas' first goal of the season. The wing back flooded forward and he was rewarded for his employment forward. The finish of a striker from a wing back, I must say. Silva. Oh. And again, they're coming forward through Mbuyu. He tried to link up with Granateur. Da Silva might do well to keep this in, but just evades him. Who's up? Who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com. Goal back for Orlando from Da Silva is only their 18th in 23 matches this USL League One campaign. And Mbuyu might try and find their 19th. Still with him. Oh, and is he upended there by him? Ejimadu. It'll just be a corner. Ejimadu got down and got the ball behind, but Bagru ran forward and knocked it off the goalkeeper. He was being held there by Venter. That could have been a foul, but I think Ejimadu just gets there. Ontivero will deliver this again. Oh, it's flicked on, and then it cleared away quite calmly by the Tucson defender. Mendoza. That's a good ball for Da Silva. He's got Ontivero with him. Cleared away by Bergen. Ontivero. Silva will have a hit! Oh, good save from Ejimadu. That was travelling. Well, he hit it like a rocket, did the captain, Silva. He was going for that top left corner. From the moment it left his boot, it looked destined for goal. And Ejimadu had to spring across. So the corner comes in. Aimer. Silva thought about it again. Oh, and that's a terrible cross from Mendoza. Completely mishit it. It'll be a goal kick for Orlando City B as Silva came quite close there from distance. For fans of the Premier League, that was a very similar effort to Basson Company's goal last season against Leicester City for Manchester City. Well, bullet of a hit from a quite tall centre back. Wasn't shy at all there. And Ontivero tried a clever back heel. Silva. And Juve ran into his teammate Aimer, who flicks it through for Ontivero, and now that's a foul against Venter. Poor decision making there from William Bagru. Venter tried to clear and Bagru was there to knock him over. Tucson will be happy to try and eat the clock down now, as they close in on an inviting and vital 3 points for them. Juve, Bagru, now Ontivero, but that effort is never going to trouble Ejimadu. There are 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, and Ejimadu just taking his time to stride across and knock that one over. Referee now stopping the goalkeeper Ejimadu for time wasting, and perhaps Ontivero has taken a hit here, and he looks like he's struggling. Clutching his lower back and hobbling as well, and not sure what happened there, but perhaps he hit the turf as he took that strike. We hope that everything is okay with Ontivero as he stretches out, and we'll have a look here, and looks like his landing from hitting that shot must have twisted his ankle. Fans follow FC Tucson and the rest. This is Wheeler Aminu now for FC Tucson, controlling the fair amount of possession for the home side. Tucson now just really trying to control possession and kill this game. Not let Orlando City back in it more than they already have. And Orlando City will make another change and really try and put the onus on themselves. Granitor, Aimer, Juve, now Silva. They do look dangerous when they go forward, Orlando, but they're not going to challenge with a ball like that from Juve. In comes the change for Orlando City. It's Tanner Hummel from Kennesaw, Georgia. And Lucas Ontivero's night is over. Takes an unfortunate end. He's been an entertaining player for Orlando all night. He'll be disappointed he wasn't able to find the back of the net with the chances he has created. A positive player for the away side, and that's not a positive sign for the home side as Devin Jamba now is on the ground. We should have a healthy amount of added time added on to the end of this second half of action. perhaps this road stretch has really put its toll on these FC Tucson players. As Jamga now comes off for FC Tucson. That might be the end of Devin Jamga's evening as Zach Wright enters the fray for FC Tucson. Another exciting youngster in this Tucson side. We'll be looking to provide some positive play. Wright, a former Rio Grande Valley's Toros player, as well as Jordan Jones and Guillermo Delgado in the FC Tucson side. Zach Wright has had quite a bit of chop and change over the past few years. In terms of clubs, he went from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He had a fantastic career in the ACC conference. As he gets his first touch now, and will look to use his pace. A very similar player to Devin Jamga, and Wright just took that one over the line, but has been in and around the USL in every league. They started out in USL League 2 with Tobacco Road FC, not far from Chapel Hill. Bagru now. Silva. There's Amer. And that one rolled just out of play. And that just about sums up Orlando City B's team tonight. Threatening, but couldn't quite find the clinical touch until it was too late. And there you see Wakasa winding up the Tucson home support and getting them behind him. Apparently they haven't been loud enough tonight, but Tucson have put in a good performance. And you do like to see that from players getting involved with their supporters. We enter in the final minute of regulation and we'll have 3 added on. Batista will take this throw in, but looks like time is going to run out on Orlando City B tonight, as they can't pull off a shock result, but there's still time for Tucson to add on to their lead. Here's Wright. He'll run this into the corner. Oh, but he's knocked it back inside, but no one was there to collect for FC Tucson. De Silva. Wheeler Aminu blocked it. Vergen. Wheeler Aminu. Batista, now Vergen again. Orlando City B will be frustrated. And Tucson will be happy just to knock the ball around, but Silva gets them going again. Juve. He stumbles over and it's a free kick for the away side. Minute and a half remaining in extra time. And it's been added on here at the end of the second half, but Bergen tried to find Delgado, but Orlando City B will have a throw in. And now FC Tucson will have a throw in. Headed away by Silva. Headed up by Silva, away from right, just about. It was Brandon John with the clearance. Howell. There's Batista. And right was surely brought over there by John. Batista. Flag is up. But time might as well just be up as well. Zach Wright gets in the way of Chaje. Aimer. Referee still hasn't blown a whistle. Play continues on. And there it goes. What a result for FC Tucson. 3-1 victors over Orlando City B. As Roberto Sahaha shakes hands with Darren Sawatsky of FC Tucson, who will be definitely the happier of the two managers. His team didn't play their best tonight, but they found a way. They come away 3-1 victors on their return home here in Tucson at Keno North Stadium. And the crowd were right behind them throughout this match. For Orlando City, it's another disappointing loss and a continuation of their away trip rows. But could this be the start of a home charge for the Arizona boys of FC Tucson? We'll look back here at the highlights as Delgado put Tucson in front. Then it was Jordan Jones. We'll have more of those highlights and some final statistics for you here in just a moment, coming up after this. Welcome back into Keno North Stadium, where the home side FC Tucson have defeated Orlando City B by a scoreline of 3-1 in this USL League One matchup. Darren Sawatsky just congratulating his players on a trifling victory. As we'll have a look at the highlights from this one, it was Orlando City B who threatened early on, much to the surprise of the home supporters. Ontivero challenging Ejimaju there, but hitting the goalkeeper in the face, and then as soon as Tucson hit themselves on the counter, they found the back of the net through Delgado. Devin Jamga with a lovely ball back across that was flicked on by Silva. And then Jordan Jones had just sheer persistence there. Gets back on his feet and rolls it into the empty net. A poor mistake from Giuliano Chaje. You can see Jones cutting back, being knocked over, and still managing to get back on his feet and score Tucson's second of the night. And that's how they went into the halftime break, with 2 goals to the good. And they put their third in midway through the second half through Eric Vergen. Jordan Jones at the heart of that attack again as he cut it back. And Vergen did all the rest with a calm finish. 3-0 to Tucson at this point. And surely Orlando City B were out of sight for FC Tucson. But De Silva comes across and pulls one back for the away side. Now that could have been the start of a comeback for Orlando City B as we have a look here. De Silva with a fantastic clinical finish. But that's how the match finished. 3-1 in favour of the home side FC Tucson, who were somehow outshot by Orlando City B 13-7. And possession stats as well being in favour of the Lions from Florida. But Tucson ran out winners in this one, and they will climb up the table. Orlando City B will stay in 10th. But before that, we'll have a look at what happened this week early on. South Georgia Tormento drew 1-1 with Chattanooga on Wednesday night. Lansing climbed top of the table after they beat North Texas by 4-1. Toronto FC2 drew 0-0 with Greenville Triumph in that Friday matchup. And tonight, Forward Madison defeated the Richmond Kickers by 1-0. And now they are in 3rd in the league standings. While Orlando sit 10th, FC Tucson now 28 points in 7th place. And they'll be chasing up the table to try and catch up with teams like Madison, South Georgia and Chattanooga as well for a playoff berth. Let's have a look at our matchups for next week. Starting on Tuesday, North Texas will take on South Georgia Tormenta at 5 o'clock. Wednesday night, 5 o'clock p.m., it's Forward Madison against Greenville Triumph. Then on Friday, FC Tucson will face off against Chattanooga Red Wolves at 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, South Georgia Tormenta will take on the Richmond Kickers at 5 p.m. All these times at Mountain Standard Time. And for League One fans, none of these matches overlap, so you're able to see every single one of them in their full entirety. Well, that's all we have for you tonight here from Tucson, Arizona. It was an explosive match between FC Tucson and Orlando City B. The final score 3-1 in favour of the home side. Clinical goals and hopefully a playoff spot for FC Tucson. But Orlando City B will have to wait another night for an away win.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.